Hey guys, we're going to talk about some angle relationships. So these are when we have multiple angles, different relationships that they form, information between angles that are formed by lines that are intersecting or parallel to each other, perpendicular to each other. They have different relationships and they tell us things because we know 90-degree angles are made by perpendicular lines, and we know that a straight line is 180. So if we have a line intersecting that one line, that would be 180. Then the two angles would form 180. So we're going to talk about those. You've learned about some of them, some of these names before, back in 8th grade, but it's good to review them going into geometry. So let's start over on the left here with adjacent angles. That is two angles that are next to each other and share a common side. So adjacent means next to. So these are two angles that are next to each other. Here is a lovely example for you. Okay, this would be angle 1. It is adjacent, I'm doing a different color, angle 1, and it's adjacent to angle 2. Right, it's right next to it. So here's angle 1, there's angle 2. They're adjacent. Okay, we'll move on up to vertical angles. And vertical angles are two angles across from each other on intersecting lines. They are always congruent. So they are always the same. That means the measures will be the same. Okay, so two angles across from each other, what does that look like? Well, that looks like if we have intersecting lines like this, or at some other varying degree, we will have angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. Angles 1 and 2 will be congruent, and angles 3 and 4 will be congruent. So they are across from each other. We can see right here that 1 and 2 are across from each other, and angle 3 and 4 are across from each other. So that means they're going to be the exact same. So the measure of angle 3 is going to be the exact same as the measure of angle 4, and the measure of angle 1 is going to be the exact same as measure 2. Moving on down, we have linear pair. These are two angles that are adjacent and supplementary. Oh, well, what's supplementary? Let's jump down and look at that one. Supplementary angles. Any two angles whose sum is 180. So example, we have that straight line because we know that straight line is 180. That's a straight angle. And say we just have another ray that's coming off of it. Okay, the angles that are both formed here will add up. Say this is measure 135. Then we know this angle has to be 45 because they must equal 180. 135 plus 45 equals 180. So supplementary angles add up to 180. All right, let's move back up to linear pair. Two angles that are adjacent, we know what adjacent are, they're next to each other, and supplementary, they form a straight line. Now, the example that we just drew below is also a linear pair because the angles were next to each other. But supplementary angles don't have to be next to each other. They just, when added together, form 180. But they don't necessarily have to be a linear pair, which would mean that they are next to each other. So again, a linear pair, we could draw the exact same thing. I'm going to make that line straight. We have angle 1, we have angle 2. Angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees. Okay, so key difference between a linear pair and supplementary angles. Linear pairs have to be adjacent. whereas supplementary angles do not, and that'll come more into play later on when we're looking at multiple lines running across other lines. And last but not least, we have complementary angles. It's any two angles whose sum is 90. So instead of a straight line here, we're looking at a 90-degree angle. And we have a ray that cuts it a half there. So in half, or not necessarily in half, but just separates it. So we have that right angle, and then we have an angle measure 1, and we have an angle measure 2. But together, they equal 90 degrees. I think I didn't finish writing that 0 over there. Deleted. There we go. So these are all of the angle relationships. We're going to look at them, and we're going to kind of explore on the back page. Okay, so here on the back, I'm going to show you kind of how it works in number 1, and then I'm going to ask you to look at number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 kind of on your own. Okay, all it's asking us to do is check all relationships between 1 and 2, what applies here in each situation. So for number 1, these angles are across from each other. They are called vertical angles. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do number 2 as well. So angles 1 and 2, they are next to each other, which means they're adjacent. Okay, and they also form a 90-degree angle, because if this side is 90 degrees, then this side has to also, wow, I don't know what keeps happening there. Then this side also must be 90 degrees. So they are also, my thing is really messing up. Sorry, guys. Also, complementary. Go ahead and try numbers 3, 4, 5, 6 on your own. Okay. Get the teacher to check your work and then move on to the practice. Refer back to your notes if you need any help while completing that practice.